Kan beresnya nanti mas kita permisi kalau tetap nggak mesti dipindahin mas saya. Ini yang barang-barang yang atas itu biar begini. Oh sekarang. Iya. Enggak mau kasih beresin. Itu kasih. Itu kewajaran orang-orang pulang. Masih belakangan. Ini datang dulu. beli tuh murah kan 2,5 jutaan turbin kan generator itu iya 2,5 jutaan di luar tapi bukan di Indonesia tapi listriknya kecil belum kalau rumahnya nggak ada angin iya kalau rumahnya nggak ada angin gimana tetap aja udah kagak ada angin kan musim-musim ini nih angin lagi pelan ini juga terus apa gunanya kalau kayak gitu harusnya aja diambil nggak kuat lah kipasnya lampu-lampu sekian pulang iya sih bener murah nggak sih hah bener apa iya itu kan casing kan pakai casing om murah kok yang berika murah masa beneran iya coba cari di Tokopedia berika action cam enggak yang satu mah R3 versi ini uh,
Sorry. Hi everyone. Special song for Karisma. Bila ingin melihat ikan di dalam kolam, tenangkan dulu airnya sebening kaca. Bila mata tertuju pada bahaya orangnya Bapak Karisma, caranya tak sama menggoda duda lincah. Wait, is it our song? Oh, it's not. Actually, this is our song. Seems everybody's got a price. I wonder how to sleep at night when the sales come first and the truth comes second. Just stop for a minute and smile. Why everybody's so serious? I think I can be mysterious. Got a set in your eyes and your head so high, and it can't even have a good time. Everybody to the left. Everybody look to the right. Can you feel that? Yeah, we're bringing love tonight. It's not about the money. We don't need the money. We just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Ain't about cha-ching, ain't about bubbling. Wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Okay, listen. We need to take it back in time. But music man is all your mind. And it was in Bobo and the video beat. And I'm only one getting tired. Where everybody is so obsessed. Money can buy us happiness. Can also buy and enjoy right now. Girl, you will be feeling alright. Everybody looks to the left. Everybody looks to the right. Can you feel that? Yeah, we're paying with love tonight. It's not about the money. We don't need your money. We just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price. Like everybody sing. And about cha-ching, and about bubbling. Wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price. Like online participant, please sing with me. La, hey, la, hey, la, hey. You do it last, everybody. La, louder. La. It's not about the money. We don't need your money. We just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. And about cha-ching, and about bubbling, wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Money. We just wanna make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. Thank you. And today, a special day for someone I love. We love. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Chi Irene. Come here, come here. Happy birthday to you. Wish you all the best, Chi Irene. Okay, everybody. Anyone? Online participant? Are you ready for the second song? Are you having a good time? Say yeah! Do you wish have a lot of money? Say yes! No wish. Okay. Okay. This is the second song. My favorite singer in the world. And the favorite song. Me, Mira. This is my partner. Have you enjoyed our performance? Help me to sing this song.
To the left, to the left.
Everybody, to the left, to the left.
To the left, to the left.
Wait, kita cek. Louder, please. Everybody say!
To the left, to the left.
Everything you own in a box to the left. In the closet, that's my stuff. Yes, if I buy it, baby, please don't touch. Keep talking at me, that's fine. Could you walk and talk at the same time? It's my name that on that check. So go off your back, let me call you a cat. Standing in the front yard, telling me how I'm such a fool. Talk about I'll never ever find a man like you. You got me twisted. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I can hang on to you in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute, baby. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I will hang on to you, but tomorrow, don't you ever for one second get to thinking you're irreplaceable. So go ahead and get down, call up that chick, and if she's home, oops, I bet you thought that I didn't know. What did you think? I was putting you off. But you was untrue, rolling her around in a car that I bought you. Baby, drop them keys, hurry up before your taxi leaves. Standing in the front yard, telling me how I'm such a fool. Talk about I'll never ever find a man like you. You got me twisted. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I can hang on to you in a minute. Matter of fact, you'll be here in a minute, baby. You must not know about me. You must not know about me. I will hang on to you, but tomorrow, don't you ever for one second get to thinking. So since I'm not your everything, how about all the nothing, nothing at all to you? Baby, I won't say the thing for you. I won't lose a week of sleep, 'cause the truth of the matter is replacing you is so easy.
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left.
Everybody help! Louder, please!
To the left, to the left.
One more. Louder! Bamis!
To the left, to the left.
To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. Gandhi! Don't you ever for one second get to thinking. Get to thinking. Get to thinking. You're irreplaceable.
You must not know about me. You must not know about me.
I can have an eye to you in a minute. Matter of fact, you'll be here in a minute, baby.
You must not know about me. You must not know about me.
I will have an eye to you, but tomorrow, don't you
Yay! Once again, please give a big round of applause for Teh Mira and also Gandhi. Okay, Teh Mira, Gandhi, thank you so much for cheer up our mood for this morning, yeah. Is there any like third or fourth song for today? Oh, thanks. Okay, once again, thank you so much and give a big applause once again, Teliners, for Teh Mira and also Gandhi. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Pagi.
Pagi.
Okay, have a good morning for Teliners all around the world that already on site today and also who already joined via online, via Zoom. Please open your camera and use the virtual background that already provided by the committee because we want to start our today's special event, CCO Talks, Improving Customer Experience Through Digital Automation. My name is Indra, and this morning I would like to address to our beloved Talent CCO, Bapak Karisma, who are also our speaker for today, and also all Talent senior leaders and Taliners all around the world once again that already joined us today in this very special event. And good morning everyone, Taliners. Welcome to our special event today, CCO Talks. And our today's topic is improving customer experience through digital automation. And we will have a very exciting session from our CCO himself, our beloved Pak Karisma. And he will not be alone because we also invited our special guest speaker. We have Mbak Bunga Sugiarto from Salesforce Indonesia. So we can wait for today's special event. And once again, for Teliners who join via online, via Zoom, please open your camera and change the format name. The format name is NIK or Nick _name _office base. And don't forget, committee to provide the attendance for the absence to be filled by all Teliners that who join today's special event CCO Talks. But Teliners, before we jump to the main event, make sure you guys pay attention because for today's event, we will have games. We will start with the games. And then we have a Q&A session itself for our CCO Talks. And also, we have quizzes. But this is different because the quizzes will be held in the end of the event today because Teliners have to pay attention first for our discussion within this CCO Talks. And also, there will be a little prize for the winner. I can say the prize, committee. Is it okay, yeah? The prize is $10 USD for whom engage with the session, which are winning the quizzes and best questions. So now, can we start our special event today for the first one, guess the picture games. Is it okay, committee? We start, yeah? Okay, Teliners, be ready. And this is can be guessed by the one that also joining us offline in the office. Thank you so much, Teliners that already attend for this special event, and also for the one that joined via Zoom or via online. And the very first picture that we have to guess, please committee number one. Okay. Can you guess? Because this is related to our topic, improving customer experience through digital automation. What is the picture number one? Okay, in the online. No, offline, but I already saw in the online. There's a lot of. Can you raise your hand? Oh, Choki. Sorry. Itu Choki.
Yes, it's me.
But your name is different.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I haven't changed my name.
Okay, don't forget listeners to change the name with Anika underscore name underscore office space. Mas Choki, what is the answer for the first picture?
It's definitely ATM.
Is it ATM machine? Committee? Congratulations, Mas Choki. Congratulations.
Yo.
Okay, for the second picture, everyone in on oh, Rudy, is it subsequent?
Submarine cable.
Is it subsequent? Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, submarine cable. Congratulations, Korudi, already attend on site. Thank you, Korudi. And this is our last. I also think this is animal, yeah, previous picture. This is the last. Everyone know? Badade. Hi, Badade.
Halo Indra.
Good morning, Badade. Do you know
Morning.
what is?
It's a Salesforce.
Wow, is it so?
Yay!
Okay, congratulations, Badade. Okay, thank you so much for telling us. And very right, the last picture is the Salesforce. And congratulations once again. And remember, you still have change for winning $10 by asking question in today Q&A session for the CCO Talk sessions. And also remember, I still have the quizzes, but this will help in the end of the session after we heard our beloved CCO and special guest talk about the improving customer experience through digital automation. And now, okay, listeners, once again, who joined via online or via Zoom, please rename the format name NIK underscore name underscore office base, and also please turn on your camera and use the virtual background that already provided via Komite, yeah. But if you didn't have the virtual background, Komite, please help to provide in the chat box, and also the attendees for the absent. Okay, now, without further ado, we will have our main event today. I will invite Bapak Karisma, our beloved CCO, to the stage for giving the opening remarks. Please welcome our beloved CCO, Bapak Karisma. Welcome, Pak. This is the right room, Pak. The stage is yours, Pak.
Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua dan semangat pagi.
Pagi.
To see everyone here today at the 16th floor and also online for all the teliners. Dah dapat suaranya? Okay. So I think today I asked Koka team, I don't want to have a CCO talk, so I want to have a morning show talk. But this is not going to be lapor pak, ya. So I will not have hasty, or it's not going to be tonight show either. So anyway, the theme for today is about I think digital automation and as well as customer experience. Those are the two keywords that we're going to discuss today. So automation is a buzzword, it's a big word always, and it's not only recently that we know about the terms about automation. Actually, every day for the as long as the historical of the human being, we always trying to find to automate. So I think nowadays it's become common for all the housewives. If you are at home, you're no longer using all the traditional tools to prepare your cook. You probably will use your own food processor to crunch all the bahan-bahan makanan, yeah, the ingredients of the foods. That's part of the automation. For the guys, I think you notice 30 years ago, probably you still drive manual car. then you change into the automatic gear or transmission. That's also an example of automation, whereby the automotive trying to improve the process in the transmission to allow the most effective way, efficient way of using all the resources to run the car. So if you are using a gas, that makes it more efficient by using the transmission in the car. So it's not new. Automation is not new. And it's definitely changed the experience of the customer. You no longer have to use your feet for the clutch, change the gear in the car. So then you do it all automatically. Okay, so those are the two examples whereby the automation and has affected also the change of the customer experience. So then what about the digital automations? So when we say digital automation, we're talking about more of the technology that used for the automation itself. And specifically of the technology, we're talking more about internet, we're talking more about software development, we're talking about the improvement of the programming language, allowing everyone to code, to make the code easier and develop all the application that can be used for the automation. Okay, so that is the digital automations. And today, just because I'm CCO, I don't think that I'm only addressing automation in the sales process or the commercial process. So when we say customer experience, it doesn't mean only for the external customer, but also can be the internal customers. I think someone that has worked with telecom probably more than 10 years or 15 years, you also have experienced different kind of experience when you are, let's say, applying for business travel. Back in the days, you have to fill in manually all the forms of if you wanted to have a business travel, be it in domestic or overseas, right? And then soon, it was introduced the application for you to fill out electronically, and then pass it to the system, to HR, also to evaluate and also the finance to produce the proof to pay you the expense related to the traveling, right? Same as the accounting. Accounting, I think probably 40 years ago, you still do it standalone in a computer using the spreadsheet and everything, and then we develop application just for the accounting team to make it easier to manage the ledger and produce more meaningful reports as the end product of the application. So those are all the automation enabled by the digital technology. So this is the thing that actually changing the way company works, make it more efficient in terms of the cost and especially also for the time. But is that only the thing that we get by automating our process? Is that only the saving some time and also saving some costs? So that's going to be part of the discussion that we are going to have today. And today it's good, lucky that we have one guest speaker, one guest panelist with me that will have a discussion with me coming from the technology companies. She has been working with several technology companies in the past 15 years. She worked with IBM, she worked with Oracle, and recently she joined Salesforce, one of the leading CRM companies in the world. She's currently regional sales director of Salesforce, and soon Salesforce, from what I've heard from her, will set up their own entity in Indonesia. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you our guest speaker for today, Ms. Bunga Sugiarto. Welcome. Okay, Mbak Bunga. So here we are all with the Teliners. we have also the on-site as well as the online participants from Zoom. It's also aired streamed in YouTube, although it's probably a little bit delayed. Now you see that we are now shaking hands and sitting in YouTube. So, but anyway, this is all the Teliners that are attending this event today. Thank you for having us and joining us in this CCO Talk. As I mentioned, this is a morning show rather than a CCO Talk, and also addressing to our Teliners.
Thank you, Pak. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
To be here.
Okay, great. So before we start, I think it will be best if we know a little bit about Mbak Bunga. So if you wanted to tell about yourself.
Sure. Okay, so I'm a mother of two daughters. In terms of career, right now I've been working since the past more than 15 years in the IT technology. So I started working for the technology of unstructured data, and then moving to structured data as well, and then also to middleware, which is related to how we integrate applications and data, and then I move on to Salesforce right now and focus on the applications related to how to help our customer to know their customer better.
Okay, good. So again, give round of applause for Mbak Bunga. So just to elaborate more, Mbak Bunga, what's the structured and unstructured data that you mentioned?
Okay.
It's a different.
So basically, structured data is data that you can put it in a table, basically lines and rows and columns, basically. So you know when you want to get that data, you know what particular field or the metadata to get the data. While unstructured is all data that you cannot put into that table. So sometimes it's like images and then voice notes. And also the unstructured text. So those are the unstructured data.
Okay, interesting. So I think we will touch on that later in the discussion. Just wanted to get your from your experience and also your observation about digital automation. So what's basically the benefit that we can get aside from just saving the cost, saving the time in processing? What other benefits that you see applied in different companies, be it Indonesia or in the global, that I can get from the digital automation?
Yeah. So digital automation basically helps you to provide a standardized level of service. So this standardized level of service can be to your customer, but also can be into your own internal employee. For example, if let's say you have sold something and then you want to make a contract, then if it's being automated, you can predict that it's going to be finished within 3 days, for example, because there is that standardization of service. Right? And while giving this standardization will be beneficial to your customer at the end, because they know what to expect, regardless on who is helping the customer. Sorry, let me. Is it clear now? Okay. So regardless of who is helping the customer can receive the same level of service, and at the end, because it reduces time to do it, then it will increase the employee productivity. And once employee being more productive, then the company can do more with less. And at the end, it actually can boost the employees' morale too, because they can do more things with less.
Okay. So, I mean, that's interesting about you on the last statement, that having a digital automation actually can boost the morale as well. Yeah? Can you elaborate, Mbak Bunga?
Sure. So, for example, let's say if you are working at the operations team, and then you need to do reporting for your management, and with automation, you manage to be able to do something that usually you need to do it in 5 days. Let's say to collect the data and then to do the summary. But with the automation, it can be finished, for example, within 1 day. That means you have more time actually to do more strategic things. And with that, you can also have more time for yourself as well, and also, of course, for work-life balance at the end. So I think that's boosting company morale, because boosting the employee morale, because then they can focus on doing self-improvement of their own self, and then they know that what they are doing is not just something repetitive and something that they can improve for the benefit of the company in the future.
So it's meaning that some of the employees will have more time for shopping online, and so there's a workshop balance. I would call.
And then not doing overtime a lot of time, Pak, ya.
Yeah, but some of the employees actually likes to do overtime because they are afraid to come home too early. The wife's probably still awake. Okay, so it's interesting, Mbak Bunga. I think some of the benefits that are mentioned by Mbak Bunga, predictability of the process, I think it's important also. Because imagine if we are dealing with, let's say, ordering process. Customer would like to change the request. They wanted to change the request for the service, and then if we don't do it or we don't automate this one, for us to predict how long this process can be changed might be a problem. So that I think this is the things that Mbak Bunga just touched, how we can make more better prediction, how we can give back to the customer more detail or probably time expectation when some issues can be resolved. I think there's one point that benefit from the digital automation, yeah, Mbak Bunga, just to reiterate, aside from the cost and also the time saving. And I think this is also aligned with what we are trying to do here in Thailand, especially also probably in commerce. We wanted to have more or better response to our customer. Let's say customer have an issue, the cable cut. Because of the cable cut, then because we are working our business in Thailand, Mbak Bunga is laying the submarine cable where all the communication pass through inter-country or intercontinent, and sometimes the cable might be cut. And in that time, then customer will experience probably a bit delay in their own network interconnection. So in that case, usually the customer care that we have, they would have the problem to give the verdict or give the verdict about how long this cable cut will last and how long that we can resolve. And then sometimes because this is mostly done with some vendors, and this is usually not automated. The process itself to go to the vendor is actually offline. So I think this, back to your statement, also put the emphasis on the importance of having an automation in place between the company, also with the vendor, how we can exchange the information and give more reliable response to our customer. I think that's my take from what you just explained, yeah, Mbak Bunga, yeah. So predictability, standard, increase productivity, and lastly, improve boost the morale of the employees. Okay, you can watch some of the team in 17th floor, I think, likes to play game. So you can play game online longer. Yeah, the MC laughing because he's doing that. But anyway, can you share also more on what would be the critical success factor when we wanted to implement, when we wanted to change the process, we wanted to automate the process and using the digital technology? Probably you can start from the sales process, let's say. What would be the critical success?
So I'll say that to create the success, at the end, you have to give that benefit or realize a quick win or that benefit to the stakeholders, basically. In this case of sales, basically the automation would be to reduce the back-end process to help you to serve customer faster, close deal faster, and then of course improve revenue, right? So at the end, the success factor is to be able to deliver that regardless on who is delivering it, to make sure that your customer receives the same level of service. That's one. And then also we need to make sure that it's not only about sales, even though at the front is the sales that facing the customer, but actually for the sales to be able to provide the service, they have to interact with other people as well, right? So it's also very important to connect the sales process with the back-end process as well. For example, to create a proposal, to create a quote, or for example, for discount approval, those kind of automation can be done as well to make sure that it improves that service level. So it has to touch all the line or all the division that is related to that particular sales.
Okay.
And of course, what's most important is the adoption. And sometimes we other company do it differently, but most of them are doing actually some incentive to help the adoption itself. Incentive doesn't mean to be, even though as sales we like bonuses, but doesn't need to be material form. It also can be incentive, for example, to help them to get something out of it. For example, if let's say these tools or this technology or automation help the salespeople to give some recommendation of upsell or cross-sell to a particular customers, then it's an incentive too, meaning that it helps the salespeople to do work easier or better. So I think those are the key factors which actually at the end it has to provide quick win to drive more adoption, and it will return directly to the benefit of the company, which is the revenue itself.
Okay, so I mean, it's interesting that what you just mentioned also. When we try to prepare a proposal, and it actually also related with the different units in the to prepare that proposal. So does that mean also collaboration is also the critical success factor in implementing the automation?
Definitely. So the collaboration, because it's something that is, so first of all, let me rephrase it. So first of all, the automation is give you the standard workflow, right? From sales, and then for example, the quoting, and then contract, until at the end booking for the accounting team, let's say. And apart from that, you also need some collaboration, like you mentioned, Pak, that is really important to work together, because sometimes there is an exemption case where you need to collaborate and then work on the solution together.
Yeah, because I think I agree with that statement as well, Mabunga, because one that I remember when we started to automate our sales process is what I didn't want is that people just leave it to the system to do everything. And actually, because the system itself consists of also the team, the people that actually work on for the next process. So therefore, what I expect when we automate our sales process is to also encourage the collaboration in the system, in the platform, meaning that the platform itself has to allow such collaboration to happen in that platform, and that collaboration actually aim to speed up the process itself internally when we automate. So we just don't rely on the machine to capture what we enter into the system, and we kind of like hope that it will produce the result that we expect by itself. I think this is what I get from you.
Yeah, I believe that at the end, digital automation helps to empower the employees, regardless of the role, to give the same information of a particular customer or a particular product information that at the end will help to serve the customer better. So that empowerment is what's most important. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's one factor that I get from you, Mabunga. Aside from that, I think you also mentioned about insights that we can get from the system that automate our process, right? So I mean, when sales team can get the insight about potential upsell of the certain customers, I think that will be coming from the system that produced a report or in form of report that give them the insight. I think also that will be the key factor, success factor on a successful digital automation.
Yes, definitely. So AI, because you mentioned about insight, is related to AI as well. So it has evolved in the past few times. So at first, it collects the data and then do some investigation, summarization, and then at the end give you that insights. But if we move on further, then it's supposed to give you that proactive action.
Mm.
So for example, it's not only giving you the list of customer that you can sell to, or the list of upsell product that you can sell to a particular customer, but it also at the end would be able to trigger you, hey, this customer is actually just go through a merger, for example, and with this merger there is an opportunity for expansion, and here is the email for you to send out to that customer. So those insights has to be actionable insights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're talking more about the sales process here, but I would imagine if we're talking about, let's say, HR, because HR unit actually have the customer, which are the employees itself, right? So it will be good also if we automate the process. For example, onboarding the new employees in the company, and we have the automation process on that one. And can you, I mean, based on your probably past experience in the previous companies, do you also notice the critical factor in that automation, let's say in the HR process or management process?
Yes. So in HR is the onboarding process that I feel is very important with the automation. So for example, we would like to make sure as an HR people that the new hire will experience they are being welcome. And especially now we are in the new world, right, where people are working hybrid. And if you can imagine, if you're being a new hire in a hybrid world, it's different from the past where you come to the office and then people welcome you, right? So I experienced this myself when I just joined my current company, is that there is a series of automation of workflows for a new hire, let's say. So this automation can involve welcoming the new hire, and then also inform these are the respective people that you need to connect to help your job better, and then also provide you with the communication tools to collaborate with them, and also the training workflow. So for example, if I'm sales, then I need to do this 2-3 trainings, for example, in 1 month. After that, I'll do this. And I think, and also on top of that, of course, the access to the application. So at the end, even though in a hybrid world, this new hire will feel welcome, and then he or she will know who to contact to, and what is expected from him or her, and also and they are also being enabled actually. So this automation is relevant in that case, especially.
Yeah, I think other than the onboarding, Mbak Bunga, I think also I would imagine, let's say, okay.
Is it clearer now? Can? Oh,
okay. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. I mean, continue from the last point, Mbak Bunga. So that was the onboarding process that we tried to also have the system to automate. I would also imagine the application in HR is the, let's say, annual leaves, or how to manage the process in annual leave as well. But what I'm trying to point here is the insight that we can get from how the employee taking their annual leaves. I think this is also probably beneficial for the HR when they automate the process digitally. Then they gain the insight from that kind of behavior in the users. So.
Yeah, definitely. For example, with that insights, you can plan a corporate event. Let's say when to do the corporate event that may not adjust with the people taking leave, and also some other insights is about the performance or the KPI. Usually, every company have this yearly performance scoring, right? So with that insight, also who are the people, who are the talent that the HR needs to invest to actually bring that career growth, for example. So those are multiple insights that can be done.
Also to identify why a lot of employees taking leave on November 15th.
November 15th.
Coldplay concert. Especially in Jakarta. Yeah?
I didn't get the ticket, that's why I forgot.
But if it's not too high, so likely they haven't got the tickets. They lost the war.
Maybe they go to Singapore, but
or probably go to
now.
Singapore because they have more schedules in Singapore.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so again, when we try to implement, when we try to automate the process, what you have seen in the past or until now the significant challenge that company face when they try to implement, they try to standardize the process and then try to automate it?
I think cost, time, and also commitment actually. And I feel the third one is what's most important.
Yeah.
Because at the end, technology and automation can only be useful if they are being used at the end, right? So the commitment of the stakeholders that are using it, it's what most important to deliver that capability into reality and deliver that benefit at the end. And of course, why it relates to cost and time, because it's like a circle, right? When the benefit showed up and then the management feel the revenue, for example, or reduce the cost, then they will invest more time, they will invest more resources to do that. However, if the commitment doesn't happen, then the result will not be as expected. So the revenue didn't come higher as expected, the cost is not reduced as expected, then at the end, time will become constrained. The company have invested this much and then the result is not as expected. So it's like a circle that I think the 3 point has to be covered.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree with that, Bunga, because I just want to share from our own experience. When I came back to Jakarta to Tallinn from previous assignment in Australia, 2016, back then our current CEO was the CMO, the CCO in Tallinn, and what he wanted at that time is we wanted to change how we process our sales, and we wanted to change how we manage our sales team as well. I remember back then, I think we had probably few sales team, some of them probably sitting here now having different roles nowadays. Yeah, I still remember. And the way that we work at that time, I would share with everyone of you in the room, also in the Zoom, that we tend to be more reactive rather than proactive. I think proactive is a word that I always prefer rather than reactive. What does it mean by being reactive? Reactive meaning that we're only waiting until the customer come to ask to inquire about service. But being proactive, it doesn't always mean that to change the attitude, but also that we need a system that push you to do that. So when you say about commitment, I totally agree with that one, because at that time, the board director commitment was very high to implement such improvement in the process. So we decided at the time, we chose Salesforce because we believe at that time it was the best CRM application, probably still now, I don't know. But we tried to implement that with the support, with the commitment from the board of director, and we tried to speed up the level of the adoption to the older team. I think in the previous question, Bunga also mentioned about having probably incentivize to the team to use the application. I think I remember at the time it was very important to get everyone on board on the system in the Salesforce, use that one. We put some also probably carrots, yeah, just to incentivize team to use it. I made games, the best deal of the month, and I made games that encourage team to record the transaction, the sales in the Salesforce application. And by doing that, actually also that somehow also changed the habit of the sales team as well. Because what we tried to do at the time is say we put the number. We targeted the team to fill in the opportunity, to create opportunity or create leads in the Salesforce a certain amount of number. And by that, I think it's slightly changed the team from reactive being proactive, because now they're trying to chase. They're trying to get more closer to the customer, get know better about the customer, and try to get the insight in advance rather than waiting for them until they spell it out. And that actually increase the number of inquiries, increase the number of data set in the Salesforce. We process that one. But moreover, what I learned later on is that how then we, in the sales leader, how in sales, the sales management then can understand what will be the productivity of our sales team. Because after a period of implementation time, we can then measure how effective we are. We created metrics in some of in our sales process, a metrics that we didn't have before, a metrics like winning rate. Winning rate, we didn't have it back then. So when we know about the winning rate, then we can measure up how we are compared to the other, probably in benchmark on the global or Indonesia, so on and so forth. And it's actually useful for us to also to divine whether we are understaffed or we are overstaffed, whether if we are overstaffed, whether we are underperform or we are overperform, and what actually development that we need. I think to also mention about what you mentioned, talk about HR application. To define what we need to improve for certain sales team member. Yeah, how he performed, how he created the opportunities, how long he takes to close certain opportunities. I think this is insight that later on we see that it can be gathered the information from the sales force. I think that's what I experienced, yeah, Mbak Bunga.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Pak, for using Salesforce to support your business. So I agree with you. This incentive actually just like a kickstart of the wheel, right? If you imagine a wheel, at the end it will become a habit, and with that habit, actually people will get that benefit, will realize the benefit, and it will become the proactiveness that you mentioned. And of course, for the management, it will give the view, or you will be able to monitor the performance, but at the end, it will help you to plan your business ahead. For example, like how many sales unit in particular country or particular region, and also what type of salespeople you need, how long is the sales cycle to help you to do the forecast better, let's say, then you can plan the whole business, yeah. So,
okay,
100% agree.
Yeah, I think the other things that probably also we might have also to address is how our actual customer experience the process as well from their end. So let's say if we are sales team, so our customer will be the external customer. I think what we expect also the customer can get the quotation faster, like faster and timely, so doesn't have to wait longer. So if the system itself prolong the process for the giving out the quotation, so that will be another challenge for us, like a company like Tallinn. In the automating the process, because I think to also come back to your previous statement on the standardized. So when we need to have a good automation, it has to start from the standardizing the process, what we have. And if we can have a more probably standard process, then we can start to improve if we find along the way in the automation, it doesn't actually give us the benefit that we expect, right? If we expect the customer can get quotation within like 1 day, but instead we can only provide the quotation in 5 days, so that will be the issue that we need to solve. And that will be probably the importance of having a standardized process in place before we try to automate. I think this is the clue that I get from it.
Yes, and doing digitalization doesn't mean you change the hard copy into digital only. I feel that some companies do digitalization just as the manual process right now. Well, actually, you need to optimize the process before you automate it, like you mentioned, and then standardize it. And the insight that you mentioned, I feel like nowadays customers are more demanding. Even for B2B customers, if a company or a C-level, let's say, meet a salesperson from your company, and I think he or she will expect your team to know this company more, right? So these insights is not only can help you on doing the quotation that you mentioned, but also giving insight about that particular customer itself.
So it's better impression to the customer as well.
Impression.
This is also part of the customer experience, actually, right?
And then boost the trust from the customer itself as well.
Yeah, I think again, if we come back to also the HR, also this will also give a good impression for the employee about how the company actually manage the employee itself. how they actually care about the well-being of the employees by doing this automation.
Yeah.
I think that's the in short. Also, if we're looking for the other implementation in the other venue.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so I think you have brought AI about this one. So, what will be the way companies optimize this AI and also machine learning for the automation?
Most of the companies right now are collecting the data to basically do their insight, to summarize. So this automation help to process a large volume of data. So with that, it can give the people or the company the predictive analysis. So they're using it for at first to identify the customer profile. So to help to identify which are the right target, the right segment, and then help to do cross-sell and upsell, to identify what actually the customers is looking for from the trend of revenue, for example, of such particular product. Or let's say if we take it from the service, what is the most service or the most complaint happen, then you can improve your customer service. So those are the areas that actually being used for the AI predictive. Moving on, right now we are coming into the generative AI. In generative AI, basically it helps the company or the team to work easier, to work faster by helping, for example, helping your sales, for example, to comprise a targeted email, or for your service people to actually when the customer complain, then the service people already know what to answer, and also to help to make report, let's say, faster. So those are the generative AI nowadays that a company mostly use.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's good. I mean, implementation, let's say in our technology team that manage the customer interfacing unit. Yeah, do we have the also technology team attending this event? Supposedly, yeah. Yeah, I believe that there's some of the technology directorate also joining this event. So imagine also the implementation in the customer care, where the customer complains and we have to provide a response. And the response has to be consistent from one fault to the future faults, if there are future faults, in a way reflecting how the company actually manage such issue. Having an AI or machine learning actually also can help make us more consistent in our message. For instance, the faults might be different, but the way that we respond has to be consistent, has to be same, because this will reflect the reputation of the company before the customer. I think this is the idea of having the generative AI. I think the implementation, I don't know, in sales, I would imagine also implementation like improving again, the quotation process, also probably just a matter of how we can shorten the sales cycle. Yeah, so I think this is also what AI that I foresee would be beneficial to be implemented in the digital automation. Okay. So I think we have discussed a lot of things about the implementation of the digital automation. Still time? Okay, before the Q&A. Okay, later we will have the Q&A, but let's get to the next topic. So in your experience, what are some best practices to ensuring that we can get the consistent and cohesive customer experience when we do the digital automation?
Yeah. So I would suggest everyone that is going to do this has to start by building a storyboard. So this storyboard, what you usually hear is making a customer storyboard, right? So your current customer, what is their journey to interact with you? So this storyboard has to go through from the beginning to the end, but also have to include the channel that they are interfacing. So this channel is very important, so you can create that consistency across different channels. But we should not stop there. What's important is also we build also the storyboard of your employee that is supporting that customer. For example, a salesperson storyboard. How is a salesperson serving a company? Serving a customer, I mean. So that different storyboard for different persona will actually help you to provide that cohesive and that consistent experience. Because if we only focus on the customer, but the employee is not being empowered to provide that level of service, then there will be a disconnect in the process. At the
Okay.
end. Yeah.
Well, I think this is the first time I heard about this one. The storyboard is one important, I think, interesting thing what you just mentioned, Mbak Bunga, yeah. And in some, I mean, a lot of cases when we try to implement or automate the process, usually it will come from the one that has the idea, and it's very subjective. He might have his own or her own experience of doing certain things, but he might not know what others might experience. And when we say others, it can be the external, the customer. It can be those that perform the process in this automated process. So I think this is an interesting and an insight for us in the future, because I believe if we are doing that, we also improve the chance of this application, this automation being well adopted, right? Because when we have considered, or when we have tried to construct the storyboard of how our team would use this or would perform in this automated process, I think at least half of the challenge has been tackled. I think that will be
Identified first.
identified, at least identified, so or anticipated, and we know that what we should do when the real problem occur in the storyboard, right?
Yeah, and it's persona based. What I meant is, like, for example, if you have a wholesale customers and enterprise customer, they might go through the same journey or may not, right? And also an account manager and a sales manager and you, Pak Arisma, may have a different storyboard as well. But at the end, it will meet at some point, or it will overlap at some point, so it can help to create that consistency and also make sure that we cover the whole channel, basically.
But is it important also to accommodate all the persona storyboards, or do we just manage from the overlaps?
So coming back to this key success factor, which is to provide a quick win, I feel that we focus first on the quick win that we want to realize, and then we define the persona based on that. So it may not be the whole persona, but who are the stakeholders that able to help, that is affected to deliver that business benefit, at least for the first quick win. So it will not be able to cover everyone, but at least you can cover the majority part of it. Yeah.
Good. All right. So last piece of question from me is, what will be the risk? What will be the risk of the implementing the digital automation, and how we can mitigate?
So what we are afraid of is being over automation. Over automation meaning that you feel that everything has to be automated, while actually the human essence also need to be a part of it. So we don't want to lose the human touch in selling, for example, because customer likes to be heard, likes interaction, right? So over automation also applies to the internal process in the company, where, for example, you want to talk with your manager, or you want to talk with HR directly. So I think
you don't want the manager to be replaced by a bot, right?
Because sometimes people put an application, and then employee can put their feedback of their performance, and then manager can reply. But sometimes they forgot that they need to do one-on-one rather than just filling the application. So those kind of over automation that we want to avoid. And I think also too much dependency. Too much dependency meaning that you over believing the system, while actually you need to know how the system works, right? So when you know how the system works, when things change in the future, because what's constant always change, right? So when things change, then you will know that maybe it's not applicable anymore. That automation may not applicable. You have to recourse, or you have to change a bit. And I think the third one for me is the security, of course, because once it's being digitized, we need to make sure that it is secure. because most of the information are in that application, yeah, in there.
So over automation, high dependency, and also the security.
risk, yeah.
Okay, I think over automation, for me, it's relevant, very relevant. I mean, I just don't want people when they're using the Salesforce application in the sales team, then they feel that they don't need to talk directly with the solution team that support him. I think I would still give some space for the, the offline communications, WhatsApp, calling, be present at the office. So that means that you might, for the sales team, wherever you are, it's okay for you to work remotely, not having a physical meeting with your support team, but sometimes you might still need to be at the office and have this one physical presence meeting with your supporting team. Not only probably with the supporting team, but also with your superior, with your manager. Yeah, so I think this is also applicable for the HR, for the finance as well. So I think don't stop communicate. That's the clue. Yeah, I know that you put it sometimes because people can be like this, Babunga. I already put it in the Salesforce. I already put it in. I already told it in the Salesforce. Why you haven't processed it, or what happened? Why you still keep asking the same question? I already put it. But sometimes it might be better to deliver directly rather than put it in writing. Of course, when you do the writing, you can put longer words, longer sentences to explain what you are expecting. But in a way, when you talk to the people, you might also get the feel whether they understand or not. I think whether they are on the same page with you or not. I think that's the importance of still keeping the direct communication rather than heavily relying on the system to communicate. Yeah, I think that's the clue.
Correct.
Yeah.
Funny story, I still like to do my sales meeting sometimes in person.
Yeah.
And if you see in the system, sometimes it looks okay. This is the numbers only, right? And this is but then when you talk directly, and then you can see the body language that you know, right? Your expenses, maybe some of in your meetings too. Then also you can get more information rather than what's there.
Yeah, I think for me also being a sales leader, experience being a sales leader, also important for me to get in touch also with the team directly. At least call if I work remotely, because when I was in US, my team, like in Jakarta, consistently I'm trying to also communicate on WhatsApp, and more of trying to get the feel what happened, because sometimes what happened is not necessarily reflected in the system.
Yeah.
So because they might showing you that the system might show you that this sales team, they haven't created opportunities for a certain period of time, or they have a lot of opportunities. It seems like they haven't touched it. Well, in the case, probably they already do it, but it's just that there's something else that happened. I think that's the importance of having this kind of a direct communication. Okay. Okay, so I think it's Q&A. Do we have any questions so far from the room first?
Thank you for the opportunity.
Just introduce your name and your unit, your role.
Yes, my name is Tio. I'm from settlement. Actually, this is not about asking questions. I love to hear Pak Karisma and Miss Bunga opinion about how, as a person from in the back office especially, could create the need of building the customer experience, especially external customer. How and also how the digital automation could be placed in between that sense of customer experience. Yes, thank you.
Okay, siapa tadi namanya? Dio. Okay. It's from Dio. Mbak Bunga?
Okay, so Mas Dio is from
settlement in the finance.
Settlement finance, right? Okay. So I can give some example related to the settlement team as well in my company. So basically, when we want to make a deal with a customer, right? And at the end, it goes to negotiation, let's say. for me, it's very important as well to understand what are the levers that we have. And some of the levers, in my case, I don't know if it's applicable or not in Talins, but it's also related to the settlement as well. And for that, we have to go through some kind of like approval and also discussion with the settlement team to kind of like identify what is possible, what is not. So basically, that is related to how we close the deal directly. So, for example, the term of payment, or also like how the customer having a good experience when they are being collected as well along the time. So actually, it really affect that relation to the external customer in my case, because at the end, all the team that is not salespeople is helping or supporting the salespeople to provide that superior service, right, to the customer, regardless the division or regardless the role. But to be able to provide this standard of service, it actually depends to the other roles inside the company. That's my opinion.
Okay. So Dion, I think it's interesting because first, the way that we wanted to have the engagement with the customers, this is my not my statement, but this is my terms of how we should engage the customer. Is what I wanted to do in Talin is many to many. What does it mean? So I don't want to have a single point of contact model. I don't want our sales team to be the single point of contact when it comes to the relationship with the customer or the partners, because that will prolong, also make the communication longer. If there's a problem in the settlement, then this person will be the voice to the customer, and the customer will go back. What I want to do is actually having a many to many relationship, meaning that the settlement should be allowed also to talk with the finance in the customer, the one that make the payment. All right. So this is what I call, the hierarchy of the relationship. So no longer that we need the sales team to know everything about the problem, the issues in terms of the service that we provide the customer, but now we want also involvement of the whole team to have a communication with the right channels in the customer. And then this is the responsibility of the sales team to build such relationship. Okay. So in terms of the application, I don't think, one way we can do is when we integrate all the application we have in the sales team, Salesforce, the billing settlement application, that might help. But back to what Ms. Bunga mentioned earlier, communication, I think, is important. I think you still have to have this communication with your colleagues in sales. Yeah, if some problems occur, and then you want to have, probably before you talk to the customer, you wanted to consult with to the sales to get the idea what happened in the company, what things that we need to consider, we need to understand about the situation in the company before we actually talking directly with the customer. So it's not about late payment only. Yeah. So it's not about overdue payments only that you wanted to manage. But if you understand the whole situation of customers, it will be better for you also to be ready, to be prepared. Okay. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Okay, Mas Deniar.
Okay, good morning, Pak Karisma and Ms. Bunga. So yeah, we just want to get an insight from you, Ms. Bunga, because you are providing Salesforce tools for us for doing the B2B business, right? And when we see about the customer experience, digital automation, it related to one thing for me is a digital transformation. And we believe, and we also see in the daily life, let's say in the retail, right? Everything when it goes to digitalize, it improve customer experience and make our life easier. That's on the B2C retail. But what I would like to get insight from you is what that you already mentioned about what the secret ingredient and behind like standardization and everything, but that's more on the back end side. What we would like to get insight from you, maybe your opinion is maybe on the B2B will be a little bit different, right? And when you talk about the digital automation or case by Salesforce, maybe, what is actually the key things that we need to, as a basic principle, when we want to attract our customer to be more digital? The example, I give you an example on the retail side, not in B2B. Is remember that digitalization on the check-in on the airport is getting easier, make us easier. But if we see some previous years ago, also happened in when you see the e-form pajak, make everybody headache. And I see also there will be a similar challenge, right, in the B2B. And as we see you running a lot of experience in Salesforce, what will be the key recipe, right, for the transforming between us and the customer, especially on the B2B?
What are the key recipe on this one?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for, this is a very great question actually. So we as Salesforce use our own tools basically, and we also serve B2B customers. There are several aspects that digitalization can help on B2B. Let's start from the sales first, that might be more relevant. So for example, what I mean by standardization is that your customer expect the same knowledge from any account manager that interact with them. So regardless, is for example, the account manager is changing, or there is a turnover, let's say, they don't care if it's a new person, they don't care if it is a new changing role, but what they expect is this person that I meet as the account manager of Talent actually knows my company, knows what product I bought, knows the contract or the custom contract that we made with Talent, and also what are the terms, and also my roadmap in the future. So basically, in sales tools, the account manager can get all of those insights, even though you're new, because that's the purpose of having that inside Salesforce, right? Meaning that you can get all the history of that customer, the business related to that customer, and also the product they bought, and also like what are the special terms or special price that they got, because you can see all the contracts related to that. Also the time. So even though you meet the customer for the first time, the customer will get a very high trust level to the account manager, because this account manager is doing his homework. But actually, with the digitalization, with the automation, actually the account manager may only need like 1 hour or half an hour to read everything provided in the system, rather than without those digitalization, without those tools, he might need to ask around. He might need to ask the old account manager, ask the manager, right? So that's one example of the B2B.
At least the tangible ones, right?
The tangible ones, correct. So that's on the B2B sales that actually help the account manager to know better. Not only apply to the new account manager, but also if we connect the sales tool with third-party data, we can also get all the insights, for example, like the merging, the expansion, and it can give that proactive information. We also can get the propensity to buy. Propensity to buy means that if, for example, now I'm an account manager and I think I met all of my customers, I don't know what other leads I can make. So these tools can help you to give, this is the list of your customer that might be interested with this product, because based on the history, all customers that buy this product A will buy product B at the end. And this is an example for cross-sell, upsell. So this how the digitalization help in the sales side. In the marketing side, even though it's B2B, still companies usually do due diligence. They can visit your website, they can ask your partner, let's say if you have a partner, and at the end we want to know who actually contact us through those all marketing channel. So in the marketing with the digitalization, we managed to be able to cover all channels. Now it includes social media as well. And also we would like, then with that insights, we know then next time if we want to do a promotion event, let's say, to which target industry or which target customer that we want to do. That's on the marketing side. Last but not least is in the operation and service. So operation and service is important because when, for example, there is a problem in the connection, and then there is or there is a new installation, let's say, customer is expecting a high level of service, right? So the high level of service has to be standardized, even though, for example, the technician is still new or different person, they expect the same standard level of service, basically. So this digitalization help on that service level as well. One last example is that, have you ever experienced that you get information that there is a promo from the marketing, whether it's B2C or B2B, and then you want to get more information, you call the contact center, let's say, but they don't know about it. So this has to be, it has to be cohesive and has to be coherent across the organization. So it's a different flavor, but that's how we can help the B2B companies to actually help to serve customer better. I hope I answer your question.
And I think back to your previous words about storyboard, because at the end of the day, our automation might not suitable for everyone. I think that, but it's how we manage those probably outlier on the statistic, yeah. So that cannot, or that feels that they cannot optimize this process and from the customer experience. I think this is also the importance of identifying what will be the problem from the external, also what will be the problem from the internal, from the storyboards that we built in the automation.
So for example, like storyboard of your salespeople, how do they actually identify a lead? What do they do? So those storyboard apply as well to your engineering team. Yeah.
Okay. Anything from the Zoom? Ada yang dari Zoom? Any questions? Not yet. And still more from the TLT? Huh? Oh, Mas Mayan. Okay, Mas Mayan.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Pak Karisma and Ms. Bunga. So I have some question that doing the automation, obviously we had like some kind of platform or maybe like system separately, maybe in every unit, let's say the commercial team has some platform and maybe the finance has platform and needs to be integrated, maybe integrated automated in a one system. What would be the challenge, or maybe what would be the recipe we need to integrate those things and everything will be aligned? I mean, there's something that some challenges we have to currently we face when we want to integrate all those things into one to be automated, because that like in government have a lot of system application, and now the president want to have to integrate it into one application. It's similar something we have faced today in Thailand. What would be your advice when we do something like that to integrate it in one system? Yeah, maybe that's it probably. Thank you.
Yeah. I think when you make the option or make a choice to buy a technology vendor, any technology vendor, I think what's important is to make sure that it is open. Open meaning open to open standard. So at the end, it's not only dependable on that particular vendor, and it allows you proprietary, and that's the right word, and to make sure that it's open to any other application. I think that's what's most important. Nowadays, we have a lot of integration tools that can help that to happen, whether it's API to API, whether it's go through like enterprise service bus, or it goes through like a microservices kind of thing. So basically, there are a few technology points, but if it's a proprietary application, that it makes it very difficult to integrate the others.
Yeah, I think we see that one too many times. We chose technology that only work for themselves, and then it becomes a very big challenge when we try to integrate, even though that we wanted to use the API. Even if that proprietary, then later on provide the API doesn't necessarily solve the problem immediately. Yeah. Gimana, Mas Ben? Okay.
Okay. Can I have more bit?
Sure.
Maybe I understand that's for the technical part. How would be the non-technical part? I mean, do we make all the teams work together to because it will need a lot of change on the system, right? How we do make the teams, maybe my team is committed or to do the automation, yeah. To have all the same perspective or perception, we need to do automation to integrate those things, yeah.
Okay. So the question is how to make sure that the different team from different role actually can work together through that digitalization, even though it's through different application. Is that the question?
Yeah.
So, so that storyboard that I mentioned, actually besides the channel, it also involves the application that they are using. At the end, it may not, I mean, it's not necessary to put everything in one application. It's, of course, it's easier if it's everything in the one application.
Super app.
Yeah, super app, let's say. But sometimes it's not doable as well. And again, we need to calculate the cost and the benefit as well. So if it's not on a same application, what we want to make sure is the same information is provided at least to the different people or different role across the organization. And that's where we need to make sure those data or those information really available to that application, basically. So it may not be in one application, that's okay, as long as it connects and it provides the information that is needed by the whole people.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, Mas Wen.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay, Pak. Thank you.
More questions?
Everyone who joined in the LD,
Dimas, no? This is your friend.
Yes, I recognize him
Baiklah,
from
first,
the
Pak.
beginning. Hi, how are you?
Mas.
Oh, aduh, nanya jadinya.
Hi, Bu. I'm not trying to ask. Actually, I just want to say hi and good to see you here.
Good to see you too. This is my
If
old
I
friend.
have to ask, maybe I want to ask that in terms of digitalization, which comes first, the system itself or the mindset?
Of course, mindset.
Oke, berarti kita benar ya? Udah.
Why?
Because
Now I wanna offer agile bootcamp if Salesforce wanna use it. We have a kind of service to brainwash your employee
So we
mindset.
implement the agile framework here in Tallinn. So that's why we have a dedicated team also working on the agile framework, creating squads.
I think it resonates to my earlier comment about the commitment, right? So that mindset actually bring that commitment to realize. Very good salespeople in your company. Wow.
So yeah, whatever role that you have in the company, you will end up as a sales. That's the mantra in Telkom. You may started as a technology or engineer or HR or finance. But you will end up as sales. Okay. Anything else?
Zoom Pak, Mas Arton.
Zoom? Siapa?
Mas Arton.
Arton.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please, Mas Arton.
Okay. Good morning, Mas Karisma and Mbak Bunga.
Morning.
I am Arton from Strategic Planning and Investment Unit. First of all, thank you for the insights that have been shared. So, Tallinn has a long-term business plan to maintain its hyperscaler segments and elevate its business to win global enterprise segments. My question is, as we aim to personalize customer experiences, how can automation technologies within Salesforce can help us to tailor interactions for individual enterprise customers? Because I believe that personalized interactions differentiate our organization from competitors. So your insights from successful strategies would help us to gain a competitive edge by offering a superior customer experience that meets our individual customer needs. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question. So this is also related to the B2B, right? I think the question. So besides the insights that you get from that customer, in the digitalization world, and if you're using Salesforce as well, there is the tool to actually, for example, put the organization structure, to put your account planning as well. So with that in mind, basically, you are actually strategizing. So the sales team together with the technical team gather together and then think what's best for the customer, right? What's best for the customer depends on their business, their roadmap, what they have right now and what is the gap that you want to offer at the end. So with that, actually, this whole conversation or this whole discussion at the end will give that value added to your customer. And to provide that personalization, it means that when your customer talk to your sales or your technical sales, they feel that they actually Talent really understand my business and then really want to help me to improve my business. So I think that kind of personalization in the B2B that matters. And it sounds easy, but actually it takes a lot of research, right? And a lot of information as well, and a lot of meetings as well. So the digitalization is helping you to actually give that structure of you do discovery first. After discovery, you do the solution. After solution, then you do the proposal, and everything is documented, meaning that you can relearn from it, and then you can shape or adjust basically. And at the end, it will provide summary that similar customer from the same industry require similar things, and it can provide that that strategy for marketing, let's say, or for a business plan in the future.
I think dealing with B2B, we are dealing with the high involvement decision making in the organization. So the high involvement meaning that we're dealing with a lot of people in the company, in the customer side. So I think that's only already pushing us to be more personalized, because we have to understand what each individual background, expectation, where they come from, what they are KPI in. So because some of the units might have a different KPI, and I think in that case only, Mas Aton, we already personalize our approach when it comes to the B2B. I think this is the B2B, as Ms. Bunga said, the personalization in the B2B.
Okay, thank you, Mas and Mbak Bunga.
Thank you, Mas.
Okay,
Pak. Is there any question from the learners who join on site?
All right. If there's no more questions, thank you, Ms. Bunga, for the give round of applause to Ms. Bunga for joining us today in the morning show. And I think after this, I will return this one back to Indra.
Okay, thank you, Pak Karisma. Maybe before we close up this Q&A session, any words from Pak Karisma or Mbak Bunga to close?
Any closing remarks?
Okay. I think my closing remarks is to be receptive of what's the change in the technology. We know nowadays there are a lot of more progressive changes. So be open, be adventurous, be adaptive, and everything that is given at the end, it has to help human being to do more successful, to be more successful, to do it better. So I think that's my summary of all of this discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Okay, once again, please give a big round of applause for Pak Karisma and Mbak Bunga. But now, Pak, we want to have some token appreciation to give from Pak Karisma to Mbak Bunga, and I would like Pak Karisma and Mbak Bunga to stand up. By now, we have the ceremony of giving a token of appreciation to Mbak Bunga from Tallinn. And we would also like to have Pak Karisma to give now to Mbak Bunga.
Thank you, Pak.
This is the token.
Okay, and please
kabel kita.
This is disuruh ini ya, dulu ya.
Thank you.
Thank you loh Pak Karisma.
Okay. And please hold up because we want to have the picture together with all Tallinners via Zoom. So for all Tallinners that join via online, please open your camera because we will have photo together.
Yang ini?
After this, Pak.
After this.
Okay. Everyone, to open the camera.
Masih belum nih.
Please open your camera, Tallinners, because now we want to have the take picture together with Pak Karisma and Mbak Bunga.
200 sangat
Okay,
banyak, Pak.
first slide ya. First slide first ya.
So it's a 200 audience from
Yes.
Zoom now. Okay.
It's 200, right? Okay, first slide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide.
Okay, how many slides?
5 slides, Pak. Okay. Next slide.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Wah, ini.
Okay.
Yang ini.
Okay, enough. Okay, thank you so much, Pak Karisma. Would you have photos with the audience first, Mbak Bunga, also?
Of course.
Jadi gimana fotonya? Gini aja.
Selfie.
Okay, the audience can go to the
Oh,
stage.
ke depan.
Yeah.
Oke. Kirain mau selfie.
Okay, to join Pak Karisma and Mbak Bunga to have the photos together for this special CCO Talks improving customer experience through digital automation. And we agree for all the discussion. Pak Karisma already said.
Dia nggak berani nih.
First, after we standardize the process, we need to improve to have the better response to the
Terintimidasi loh ya.
customers. And also, Mbak Bunga said that we have to be open, be adventurous, be adaptive to help successful for today with the customers. Okay, Teliners. Okay, you ready?
Ini apa? Rapat ini. Takut sama saya.
Can I join?
Gak gigit.
Panitianya nggak?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile. One Telin.
Oh, one.
One Telin.
Kamera ya. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, another pose, Pak.
Apa? Udah mau cuan.
Oke,
Cuan. Oh, bukan sarangnya.
Cuan. Sarangnya. Kita sarangnya cuan.
Enggak lah kalau nggak cuan kata Gaby.
Matre kalau
Okay, thank you so much. Once again, please give a big round of applause for today's session.
9 years dari 2013.
Hah? Udah lama di itu.
Okay, thank you so much, Teliners.
Lamanya di Oracle.
IBM kan?
Iya, lebih lama di Oracle.
Mesin Nancy.
Iya, betul, betul.
Citra juga ya?
Citra nggak ketemu apa? Ketemu Nancy.
Siapa lagi?
Okay, once again, well, thank you so much for Pak Karisma and Mbak Bunga for today's CCO Talks improving customer experience through digital automation. And Pak Karisma and Mbak Bunga, you may leave the stage. Thank you so much, Pak. Thank you so much, Mbak Bunga, everyone.
Kita di mana nih? Chief, di ruang saya itu ya?
Ini juga di.
Ini ya nih. Mau dilepas dulu.
Okay, stay tuned, Teliners, because after this we will have quizzes. After we hear the Q&A with Pak Karisma and Mbak Bunga. Okay, back with me, and now we will have the quizzes. So, trainers, are you ready to get more prize? Because we have all the questions is about what is Pak Karisma and Mbak Bunga discussed today. So, who you are that already pay attention for this session, you can join the quiz. And now, please, committee, help to share the quizzes access. And don't forget to use your real name. Once again, use your real name, because after this, committee will contact you if you are the winner. We can see on the screen. Can you, committee, please change to the quizzes? Okay, once again, please committee to share the link for the quizzes. We will wait for all teliners to join the quizzes. And as I say that this question, all about what is Pak Karisma and Babunga discussed today in CCO Talks, improving customer experience through digital automation. We already can see it's already like 20 were joined. We have 118 participants, so still waiting for the others to join. Once again, don't forget to use your real name, because if you're not using your real name, committee will have the difficulty to reach you to give the prize. And for today, committee we will have 5 yeah. Committee yeah. 5 winners yeah. Okay, only 5 winners. We're still waiting. It's already 40. Still waiting for the others to join the quizzes to close up or to end our today's special event, CCO Talks, improving customer experience through digital automation. Okay, we are still waiting, yeah, committee, because it's almost 50, but we have 120 participants. So still waiting the others to join. Please, for all teliners that join today's CCO Talks event, you can click the link that already provided by committee in the chat box. And then join the quizzes, rename with the real name, once again with the real name, for this today quiz challenge. Okay. Still waiting, committee? It's okay? We still have time? It's almost 60. We still have time, yeah? Okay. It's almost 60. It's already start, is it? Okay. 3, 2, 1, start. Okay. We have how many questions for today, committee? 10. Oh, 10 questions. Okay. Number 1 is the one that already asked, yeah, you pay attention a lot. Mas Dio, oh, it's already changed. And go Mas Wames. Okay, number 1 is Ton. Ton is Arton. Oh yeah. Okay, we also see Mas Mayendra, Mas Bames, Ayu, Intan, Korudi, Mbak Anti, Mbak Dade, Mbak Luki. Come on, come on. Wow, it's a tight one. Mas Ayrton and also Mas Mayendra. Is it Ayrton ya? Bang Sotar is already up again. Bang Sotar. Bang Sotar again, Korudi. It's already finish number 1. Number 2 finish. Number 3 also finish. Number 4 is it? We have 5 winners for today quizzes, yeah? Wow, this is the one that can answers correctly, yeah? All the answers by this CCO Talks. Wow, you're listening so carefully. Okay, it's already done. We can close it. We can close it, committee? Okay. I count from the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and congratulations for the 5 winners. First one is it correct? Is it correct? Okay, committee, because is it correct? Leaderboard. Okay, we can see leaderboard. Can we see the leaderboard? Wow! So already changed, yeah? Is it the correct one ya? Komitnya ya. It's valid ya. Okay, it's valid. Oke, congratulations for Mbak Anti, Mas Dias, Mas Nadia, Bang Sotar, and Mas Hadian Raffi. Wow. Thank you so much once again, everyone. And Teliners, once again, I really like to thank you for all that already joining for the beginning. Once again, today is our special CCO Talks with theme improving customer experience through digital automation. And congratulations, the one that already can answer for the first guess the picture quiz and also the last quizzes to closing up this special event. And so that's a wrap for CCO Talks for today. Thank you so much once again for our speakers, Pak Karisma and also Mbak Bunga from Salesforce. The committees, thank you so much. Of course, Telinars for all around the world that participation and your engagements. Thank you once again, and see you in the next event. I'm Indra signing out. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Semangat pagi.
Pagi.
Bye bye everyone. Thank you so much. See you in the next CCO